Fala galera do GFight, Diego Ribas direto de Las Vegas, numa conexão com a Flórida. Dakota, how are you, Dakota? Welcome to Age Fight. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm really well.
Thanks for your time, Dakota. Uh, the Grand Prix, the how does it feel for you? Do you like the PFL Grand Prix? Maybe 4 fights in a year. How does it fit for you?
Yeah, no, I really like staying active and fighting regularly. It's been fine for me. I've really enjoyed the season. I've progressed a lot throughout the year, so yeah, I've enjoyed it.
And tell me about Jean, your next opponent. How do you feel? Actually, how do you match up this fight skill by skill?
Yeah, we're opposite styles. She's a grappler, I'm a striker, so I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I'm excited. Opposite styles sometimes make a great fight, so I'm sure it'll be one that entertains the fans for sure.
Is there any specific challenge that she brings to you inside the cage?
I mean, a jiu-jitsu is definitely something to look out for, but I feel like jiu-jitsu is very different when you learn to strike at the same time. So, um, I think there's nothing that I'm scared of in this fight or anything. I'm happy to go to the floor if that's where she wants to go. But being a striker, I'm definitely looking for another highlight reel stood up.
Do you have any prediction for this fight?
I'm 100% a win, maybe at another stoppage for sure. That's what I'm going for. I don't go into to do a boring 3-round fight for sure. So it's going to be all systems go from the first minute.
Awesome. If you win, you are fighting at the final, and
Yeah.
there's a chance you're gonna fight either Natalia Santos or Alice Carmouche. Do you have any of? Do you prefer any of them?
No, I'm not really bothered. I want to fight them both at some point anyway, so it doesn't matter to me who I get first.
Okay, as I told you before the interview, I'm from Brazil, and a lot of Brazilian fans they are waiting to see you against Talia. To be honest, how do you see Talia as a fighter? Where she's stronger than you? Maybe where can she give you like some troubles? How do you see the matchup?
Yeah, she's a strong girl. She's a lot more experienced for sure. But I don't feel like she troubles me in any way. I'm sure when I fight Jenna, that will prove a little bit more to people because I won't be getting another split decision like she did against her for sure. So I'm not here to talk a big talk. I'll get in, do my job on Friday, and then I'll speak that way.
Perfect. Let me ask you something, Dakota. Dakota, it's not a secret. There's a huge hype around your name, and you're just 26 years old. If I'm not wrong, 12 MMA fights, professional MMA fights. So it's let's say you are in the beginning of your career. You have many years to go, right? And how do you handle all this hype? Is like being so young.
Yeah, it's just like social media hype and things like that. It's not something that I really take that much notice in. Obviously, I'm always really grateful for like support and people speaking really well about my skills. That is what I want, but I don't. That doesn't like give me confidence. What gives me confidence is like working hard in the gym and seeing the improvements in myself, seeing the improvements in my performance. So I think that's kind of how I deal with it. Is that the media doesn't really like boost my ego or anything. It's just something that I take as part of the job. But the most important job to me is inside the gym and inside the cage, and that's how it'll always be. And I've got a lot of people around me that'll keep me very grounded as well. They won't let me, get ahead of my boots or anything. So yeah, I think that's just how I deal with it all.
That's the good thing about being part of ATT, a huge gym with so many champions, right? Like kind of keeps your feet on the ground, right?
Yeah, of course. Like, I'm losing rounds in the gym sometimes, I'm having tough rounds with different people. So, you get humbled every day in that gym, and it's kind of what it can't not keep you grounded.
Do you see yourself as one of the, let's say, the English MMA face of the sport right now?
Yeah, I definitely would say 100%, especially last year doing the winning PFL Europe and kicking off that season. My face was everywhere, and now so many people have joined PFL Europe since that season. So I definitely think it made a big impact for sure. I think if you speak to a lot of people in the UK about fighting, they will all mention my name. So I definitely feel like I've already done that. But in the same respect, you know, there's a lot of other people pushing the sport as well. Obviously, Leon is champion in UFC. We've got Molly, we've got Paddy, you know, we've got Lerone Murphy, who's also from Manchester in UFC. So there's so many names now. It's just getting bigger and bigger in the UK, which is amazing.
Tom Aspinall, right?
And Tom, you can't forget Tom.
Yeah.
The main one, you can't forget him.
The heavyweight. Yes, you were saying a lot of names, but what's your contribution to make MMA even bigger in UK? Let's say you're say like Tom Aspinall, interim UFC champion. Leon Edwards, he just lost the belt, but he was the champion. Paddy, there's a huge hype around him, but being a female, like we don't have a lot of British female fighters. You said Molly, but I mean she's not in the rankings. You know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
like. Do you see yourself as because you're undefeated so far? Do you like you have the chance to be the female face of the sport in UK?
Yeah, definitely. I think what we have to understand in this sport as well is you've got to be a little bit of a personality. You know, you've got to be able to show something other than just fighting. So I think that's something that I probably bring. You know, I don't look like the typical fighter, which brings eyes. You know, I can speak well on camera. I'm not annoying to people, like as in like shit talking and things like that. You know, so I think just yeah, and social media as well. You know, you have to be active and you have to engage with fans and you know be able to speak with people, and I think it all just plays a big part. So I think definitely having some kind of personality in this sport definitely helps.
Perfect. That's my next question. Let's talk a little bit about the trash talk or the promotion of the fights. What's going on in England? You guys looks like all of you guys are really good on that.
You think? I
I
mean,
guess.
yeah, like Paddy obviously talks a lot, but he backs it up. I think that's another thing. You have to be able to back it up, and if you don't back it up, it kind of switches back on you, you know? So, I mean, it just depends. I mean, Tom Aspinall's not a talker, is he? You know, and people are like complaining that he doesn't speak enough. So it's hard to get a balance sometimes. You can't please everyone. So I think you just have to be yourself. That's the main thing. You have to be yourself, not fake anything. And if it's not natural for you, it's not natural for you.
Is it natural for you, like doing interviews, being in the camera? I'm not talking about just fighting, but being like a, let's say, kind of celebrity or being like famous, like a public person, and being outspoken with the microphone, taking pictures, signing autograph. Is that natural for you?
I wouldn't say it's natural. It's just something that I'm kind of learning to get on with and something that I've learned over the years to kind of put up with. Even when I was in Thai boxing, I had a lot of eyes on me just because obviously my mum was a very big name. Every Thai boxing show we went to, everyone knew her. And then it was kind of like whenever me and my brothers kind of went into the shows, it was, oh, this is Lisa Howarth's kids. So it was, you know, we've always been around that. We've always had a lot of interest in media and things like that. So, you know, it's just something that I've got used to over the years, but I won't say it's something I'm very natural at for sure.
Awesome. When I was checking your record, you have been pretty active the last years.
Yeah.
Correct if I'm not wrong, but as professional, you fight at least 3 fights a year, and in 2024 there's a chance you're gonna fight 4 fights. Is that something that we can expect for the next years? Like, do you want to be as active as you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I'm still young. So I definitely like being active, but at the same time, I want to be able to like go home. You know, I've not been home all year, so I want to be able to go back to England and see my family, and you know, make sure I'm still kind of making them memories with them because that is such an important part of my life. But you know, I don't get to choose right now. You know, I'm in a tournament, so that's kind of what I locked in for at the start of the year. If I have to do the tournament again next year, that's absolutely fine. But maybe as well, I'd like to kind of fight in other places, you know, and fight back in Europe, maybe back in England. I think I want a few different few different avenues rather than just you know, the same thing every year. So we'll see what happens.
Maybe in Brazil? Why not?
Maybe, yeah, it's one place I want to visit for sure. I've got a lot of Brazilian friends at the gym, so they're always seeing how beautiful it is there. So it's definitely somewhere I want to go one day.
Yeah, ATT is very famous in Brazil because for MMA fans, because some even like Pantoja, UFC champion right
Yeah,
now, and not just fighters but even coaches.
yeah.
How many Brazilians do you have around you, like training partners or friends or even coaches?
A lot, a lot. Yeah. So my head coach, Conan, he's obviously Brazilian. So there's definitely a lot of them at the gym. And it's just nice. We have a good mix, you know, people from all around the world at the gym, and there's so many different personalities and, you know, styles that we love it. We all fit in one big temple, they call it, together.
Did you learn any Portuguese word already?
No, I think the only one is it Bon dia? That's the only
Yes.
one we say in the morning, but that's about it. I haven't learned anything else yet.
Not even a bad word?
Someone's taught me one, but I can't actually remember it right now, and I wouldn't say it anyway because I don't know what it means. I can't remember what it was.
We love bad words. Come on, these Brazilians. I'm gonna text Connor. He's not doing a good job. Maybe as a coach, but not as a teacher, Portuguese teacher. Um, Dakota, I had the chance to talk to Joanna, former UFC champion, actually UFC Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
She trains at ATT. Was during the Hall of Fame induction. I spoke to her, and she told me so many good things about you. Looks like she really likes you very much. I didn't know if you guys were close or not, but she told me that she sees you as a champion, even UFC champion in the future. And how is your relation with her? How did you guys link?
Yeah, so I've always been a massive fan of Joanna anyway. So when I first came to ATT, she actually came in to do a little bit of training. She was on the mat, and I was like seriously fangirling. I was like, "Can I have a photo, please?" I did ask her for a photo at first, but then she's been back a couple of other times at the gym. But she's such an amazing person. Like, she's honestly one of the nicest people I've ever met in the sport. She always wishes me well. You know, she always says, you know, she always congrats me on my fighting and everything I'm doing, and she supports me. I've actually managed to get like a little bit of a drilling session in with her, doing a bit of striking, which was really nice of her. You know, she didn't need to partner with me, but she did a little bit with me, which is amazing, you know. And it's something that I hope one day I can do in the sport, you know. Like, that was a big moment for me, you know, being able to just even chat with her. So I want to be, you know, the same as her one day in the future, you know, someone that people look up to, and I'm able to do that for somebody else. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Beautiful words. My last question is, at the age of 26, 12 fights, 12 professional fights, undefeated, just won by decision, right? What's the secrets to be so aggressive in MMA?
You gotta be a killer. You gotta be a killer, but you gotta have my mum's genes for that, I think. So I'm afraid you're not gonna see it that often. But no, you just you gotta love this sport. You know, you gotta be a certain type of person when you get in that cage, and I feel like I seem to have it when I get in there. So I will continue to keep showing that for as long as it lasts. And yeah, that's all I can say on that, really.
Okay, last but not least, Dakota, the killer. I'm gonna leave you by yourself. Please send a message for your Brazilian fans why they should watch your next fight, and maybe we can see you fighting Taylor at the end of the year.
Yeah, maybe you guys will get the fight that you want in the next round. Hopefully you do, because, you know, I want to put one on for the fans. And make sure you tune in, because I'm never in a boring fight. And hopefully one day I can come to Brazil and showcase my skills live for everyone.